The Radio Memories Network is brought to you in part by Liberated Syndication, podcast publishing made easy, libsyn.com. That's libsyn.com.
Welcome to the Old Time Radio Network Suspense Stories. Are you ready for a thriller, chiller, or the macabre? We now go back to the early days of radio and our imaginations with our featured suspense presentation.
Suspense. This is the Man in Black, here to introduce Columbia's program, Suspense. Heading our Hollywood cast tonight is the distinguished American actor, the star of the Broadway suspense drama Angel Street, who has recently returned to this coast to resume his film career, Mr. Vincent Price. Tonight's suspense play, which presents Mr. Price, and which is produced and directed by William Spear, relates an episode of recent years in the unfriendly Nazi capital of Berlin. The Strange Death of Charles Umberstain by E. Jack Newman is tonight's tale of suspense. If you have been with us before, you will know that suspense is compounded of mystery and suspicion and dangerous adventure. In this series are tales calculated to intrigue you, stir your nerves, to offer you a precarious situation, and then withhold the solution until the last possible moment. And so, with the strange death of Charles Umberstain, and with the performance of Vincent Price, we again hope to keep you in suspense.
I was infuriated to think I had been trapped. The thought that someone had discovered my intentions maddened me to the breaking point. Nothing had slipped. Everything had run smoothly as I'd planned. No evidence, not the slightest trace, nothing. And yet, I was trapped. Trapped? But why? How? Let me see. Papers in my briefcase, train ticket, information forwarded safely to my office. And he knew. How? But he did know. I stood quietly in my room, watching him, watching me, waiting for me, standing by the lamppost beneath my window, knowing he had trapped me, waiting for me. I recognized him almost immediately. Captain von Heinz. Once before I had seen him briefly in Herr Miller's office. I'd been working on some corrections. Herr Miller was escorting him through the plant on an inspection tour. They stopped for a moment outside my office. I glanced up as Herr Miller gestured my way through the partially open door. Well, here it was. They were talking about me. My heart stopped. He was explaining how I had been recommended by the Führer himself, my qualification. They continued on their tour. Herr Miller explained later when I went to his office.
Umberstain, there you are.
Herr Miller, you sent for me?
Yes, Umberstain. This morning, when Captain von Heinz and myself passed by your office, I knew it was you.
You knew it was me?
Yes. Captain von Heinz is head of Gestapo intelligence in this area. He was conducting a routine inspection this morning, and it was he who suggested that since your recommendations were by the Führer himself...
Yes?
Your work here has been excellent. I knew you were the man when I passed by today.
My work?
Oh, no, of course not that. Why, you have become one of our best men.
Oh, thank you, Herr Miller.
No, this is it.
Yes, Herr Miller.
Through various posts, we are releasing more prints on munitions areas in this country and other countries. You are to be in complete charge of their release from the law.
I understand, Herr Miller. As a citizen of the Reich, I am greatly honored that I have been given such an opportunity.
An opportunity to show your loyalty.
An honor.
I will give you the combination. You will see that no other person enters the vault.
Of course, Herr Miller.
One moment, Umberstain. Yes? I think I should tell you that a few months ago in one of the neighboring plants, the Gestapo apprehended a spy.
Yes?
He was working for an enemy espionage. Found in possession of certain vital documents which he had access to in his work.
What did they learn from him?
Many things. He was reluctant to speak at first, but it's difficult to hold out indefinitely. So he finally gave them enough information to locate other agents who had filtered in.
It was well he was detected.
Oh, yes. The Gestapo is still on the alert for some of his co-workers, still expected to arrive. Of course, they are ignorant of his confession and his fate. So, Herr Umberstain, I must warn you to take all the necessary steps against the possibility of espionage. You cannot be too careful.
I shall be careful.
In you, Umberstain, is exemplified the efficiency of the Third Reich.
I closed my suitcase and looked down on the street. I watched him standing there. I kept asking myself, how could he know? This Captain von Hind, how could he know? The plan was perfect, the best yet, and yet I was discovered, trapped. It was a late Saturday afternoon, and the silence of the day hung heavy in the room. Outside it was cold, very cold, but in my room it was warm, stuffy. The radiator hissed and spewed as though it were the judge of the events to come. I was almost angry at it. A radiator. It was still light enough that he might see me if I crossed to raise the window. He wasn't aware that I was in the room. I hadn't turned on the light. Now he stood there, waiting for me to return. I lay down on the bed, smoking. My thoughts troubled by the one question. How had he discovered me? Safely, I had avoided all connections with anyone who might have a chance to spy on my work. There was not the least cause for suspicion. An established citizen of the Reich, well-recommended, pure Aryan, employed as an architect in one of the country's largest munitions plants. Certainly there was no reason for him to suspect me. The Gestapo, this Captain von Hind, waiting to take me. Fräulein Keller. Absurd. Oh, of course not she. Could you have trusted a woman? Fräulein Keller. May I give her any reason?
According to my information, he was one of the most unpopular men in London.
Good morning, Fräulein.
Good morning.
My name is Charles Umberstain. I'm at the munition factory near here. I wish to take a room.
Oh?
One facing the outer street, Fräulein. Accommodate me?
Oh, I think so. We have one which is on the second floor, overlooks the street corner.
Oh, fine, I'm glad. It looks comfortable here, small and comfortable.
Oh, yes, you will like it, I'm sure. I'm the owner and manager here.
Fräulein.
Sign here, please.
Good. There you are.
Can I help you? Otto, would you show Herr Umberstain to his room?
I'm the director of the Northern Publishing.
Yes, who is it?
That's unfortunate.
Fräulein Keller.
Oh, just a moment.
Mr. Troy, it's about the Rennick case.
Yes, Fräulein?
I have brought you some extra drink. You may be
Oh,
cold.
that's very thoughtful of you, Fräulein.
And Herr Umberstain, down the street, the little cafe. You may find nice music, little music, too.
Oh, wonderful. I am indebted to you, Fräulein.
But you are quite charged. I look after my guests. It is my job.
Oh, that is most kind, Fräulein.
Herr Umberstain, I also dine at the little cafe.
We published his novels, you know. Oh. We're very sorry to hear of his death. I bet you were.
To you, Fräulein, for your wonderful hospitality.
Oh, to you, Herr Umberstain.
Fräulein, it's growing late. I must be off. I have a great many things to do tomorrow.
Oh, and so do I.
Yes, I know.
Oh, it has been a wonderful evening.
Yes,
Wonderful.
wonderful. Here's your coat.
It was about to drop the Northern Publishing Company. So? It means you'd have liked the
It's growing colder now, isn't it?
Yes, the winter will be here soon. Too soon.
Yes, but I won't be.
When my father founded this company,
You won't.
Oh, nothing, Fräulein, nothing.
But still, his mother, about Steve Rennick
Certainly, Fräulein. Certainly, I was
£1 million,
just
Miss Morgan.
wishing.
Makes you think.
For what?
No, I'd done it. I'd started to thinking. Perhaps she could...
For what?
Nothing, Fräulein, nothing important. Only the hopes of every man. They become so near sometimes, they're almost reality.
So?
What else could I do? I had to lead her thoughts away somehow. She took the lead.
You mean a woman?
Yes. Yes, Fräulein. You.
Oh, but we have known each other for such a short time. Only 2 weeks.
That's true, but I've been aware of you for a longer time, though I've just met you.
Oh, Herr Umberstain.
Charles.
Oh, Charles.
At first I was uneasy about the whole affair. And after a while, I did grow rather fond of her. She was so accommodating, and we dined together each evening, and I played my role to the letter. Never once did she mention my work.
Oh.
Fräulein, tell her. What are you doing in my room?
But I was...
You've been looking through my papers. Why?
I was looking for something.
What right have you? What are you looking for?
I was looking for a letter.
A letter? What letter?
One that you haven't got. I thought perhaps you might have it.
Now, out with it.
A letter from a woman. Very well, Charles. If you must know, I suspect you of nothing guilty.
Actually looking for a letter from some woman. Any woman. She didn't trust me. She didn't trust her, Charles. No, it couldn't have been Fräulein Keller. Who then could it have been? I walked over to the window and looked down at the figure who so patiently kept his vigil there. Captain von Heinz. Wait. Why? There had been something wrong with the passport. But no, that was perfect. Not the passport.
All passengers will report to the trainmaster for passport examination.
All in order. You can take your luggage to Berlin. Yeah, this way. Next.
Next. Here you are.
Name?
Charles Umberstain.
President?
Berlin.
Nationality?
German.
All in order. Fix your luggage. All in order.
Thank you, trainmaster.
You must be careful, you know.
When may I catch my train for Berlin?
It should be by any moment. Next.
I stood there in the shadows waiting for my train. I examined my passport again, as I had done 100 times before. No one would have any reason to doubt anything so genuine as that.
Passengers for Berlin! Passengers for Berlin!
God, must we stand passport inspection again?
Yeah. Army intelligence will accommodate you on the train.
Jawohl.
Exactly how many women are there?
3 stops my passport was inspected. A good test? If the passport had been suspected or investigated, it would only prove that I was Charles Umberstain. I had come by the passport through Hans. At the time, Hans was employed as an Austrian customs inspector. This gave him access to many such passports. According to Hans, there had been a person named Charles Umberstain who had suddenly disappeared in 1936. Since there had been no friends or relatives to make an inquest, well, you can see. No, I was Charles Umberstain. Why, I even resembled the badly scarred photograph on the identification card. From the front view, he was evidently a large man, big shoulders, large head, wore a short Prussian haircut. Yes, I certainly looked enough like the photograph. Passport was flawless. Couldn't have discovered me through that. Von Heinz. What else? Plans? No, of course not. They couldn't have discovered that. I merely made copies and left the originals. No, not the plans. By Hans and I...
Maybe that's true. Maybe you were there, maybe you didn't. Either way, it didn't make much difference.
Oh, no, not Hans. Never. It worked so well together. Oh, no, not Hans. Strange, silent boy, perhaps, surely...
Just 2 minutes,
the whole place was raging inferno. Gave me the passport. It was our man in Austria. Strange things happened even to the most
Inspector Mellenby's boys had put a police seal on the front door.
All set, Charles.
Life was
And
just a little more
I
than
must be looking
tedious just
there
then.
until
There was
I
no
arrive.
need for any jokes
I will be
about
attached
barbecue
to an
time.
army ordnance division in the city. You will receive additional information on the first day of each month. From you? Yes. There's a hotel not far from the factory. Here is the address. One in Hotel. Now, on the second floor in one corner sits a mahogany table. On it are a set of silver candlesticks. 4 of them. Beneath the candlestick nearest the right, you may find the information of the first day of each month. Written in code, naturally. Be very careful when you pick it up. And make no effort to contact me in any other way. Now, even if I might learn
But nobody's going to believe me.
Yes.
However, I would like to know how
remember,
much
sooner or
more
later we're bound to be introduced, you and I. My duties with the Ordnance Division will, of course, mirror so far, kind. Very far. Once inside the city, I'm Oberleutnant Hans Neumann of Army-Ordnance, understand? I take care of Charles Umberstain. Right. Well, time grows short. I must go.
You expect me to believe a cotton-bull story like that, Troy? It happened to be the truth.
Yes, not bad.
Male or female? I couldn't tell.
Very considerate of Umberstain to have looked this way.
Naturally come into the room,
Ticket?
Inspector.
I
Just
guess
summed up the window and pulled a picture on the counter. Well, I don't think there was any intruder. I think this is all a figment of your very first imagination.
Now, don't you start.
First opportunity became
I'd still like to know what you were doing on the scene.
And I will see that you are highly recommended from a reliable source.
He'd requested permission to get rid of Hoskins' manuscript. Honey Buns and Homicide.
You needn't worry, Umberstain.
Well, that was the title of it.
It'll be good. I assure you. Goodbye. Oberleutnant Neumann, if you please. Oberleutnant.
Listen to this.
Well, then, my Herr Charles Umberstain. Auf Wiedersehen. Heil Hitler. Heil Hitler.
Too late. There must have been so anxious to mention the name of his book in the flying book.
Everything Hans had said came about. I picked up my information each month at the little hotel. I left an occasional report for Hans. It was the only way we ever communicated. And then Oberleutnant Hans Neumann began to appear in Franz Mueller's office. And eventually Mueller introduced him. In fact, Hans was with Mueller quite frequently, and they dined together regularly. Hans played his part well. But one day, something was worrying.
I will wait here for you, Miller. I'll be with you in a moment. Ah, Umberstain.
Helen, too.
It's good to see you again.
Lieutenant Neumann.
Used to do a lot of secretarial
Miller speaks very highly of your work here.
Inspector, I suggest we go talk to the lady. May I remind you that you're under arrest?
I don't know what it is.
But I've got a hunch. I don't give a hoot about your hunting.
There is something I recognize about the name. The eyes are...
Yes. We were just chatting a moment.
Enough from you.
I've seen one behind someone before. Be very careful. And don't come without in case they ask you.
Well, then, you all ready? Why, yes, of course. Umberstain, would you care to join us at luncheon?
No, thank you. I have some work to do.
Always work. Well, then, let's go, Hans, yeah? Yeah, certainly. Oh, by the way, will Captain Von Hein be joining us today? Von Hein sent us a great... Something is delayed. Oh, that's too bad. Von Hein, a remarkable man. No one like him.
Just tell us about Janine Lee and Steve Rennick. You understand.
Bye, Lieutenant.
I'll be watching you.
Such a brief one. Curt and sinister. Hans was frightened. He would never have taken the chance to speak to me if he had not been frightened.
Yes, you're
Something he recognized about Von Hein. Saturday was the first of the month. There was no information
You
from
know
the
what
hotel.
prostitute means?
Hans didn't appear again to lunch with Herr
And
Miller.
of course, you know what
Something was wrong. Something had happened to
You're a
Hans.
writer, aren't you?
Today I found out.
We will enjoy ourselves today, Umberstain. We should lunch together more often, you and I. I like good company when I eat.
Good food, good company, good digestion.
And this is a wonderful restaurant that we are going to. You know, they serve Norwegian smoked salmon. That is excellent. And cheese, too. Nothing like these new foods we are getting from Norway.
I've heard of Norwegian salmon.
And this is the best.
You and Oberleutnant Neumann dine here often, don't you?
Hans Neumann. Yeah, we came here often. And Neumann will not come here for a long time again.
I want to change the shape of it.
I don't understand.
Yeah, you don't. You remember Captain Von Hein?
Oh, yes, the Gestapo man who was inspecting our factory a few weeks ago.
Yeah, most efficient man. He has apparently been observing Hans Neumann for some time. Oberleutnant Neumann is being detained by Captain Von Hein, no? Was a spy.
Steve Rennick was no writer.
How do you know?
I arrest only spies. And Von Hein never makes a mistake. The man is incredible.
Was there something suspicious about Hans?
Something suspicious about everyone, Von Hein. He himself asked me to cultivate Oberleutnant Neumann so that he could better observe his actions.
Yes, I noticed that you two lunch together very often.
We lunch together at this very same restaurant you and I are going to now. It made it easy for Von Hein.
Easy?
To study the man in leisure. Von Hein always wants to be certain.
And where is Hans now?
Who knows? Who knows what happens when Captain Von Hein takes a man?
Just before you pull that...
Don't you admire such efficiency, Umberstain?
Of course.
Yeah, well, the captain did indicate that there were others to be rounded up, too. Well, here we are.
Look, you see them in the window? Norwegian salmon. Oh, they are beautiful, so red, so delicious. Are you hungry, Umberstain?
What?
You.
Oh, yes.
That's not evidence.
Oh, they do look delicious.
Therefore, the intruder knew her way around. You were every stick of furniture was.
I could see his breath now. It was growing very cold.
You were the one that fit.
He was well dressed and neatly tailored
And then we
overcoat and
come to
dark
the
hat.
reason behind
It was
this.
too dark to tell the exact color.
The fire.
The only thing I was sure of was hands.
That
Gloves
manuscript beside Rennick's typewriter was
heavy,
written on
thick,
another
powerfully
machine.
mounted prongs encased in a gray, tightly fitting material. Style, lines running across the back. I noticed when he lifted
on
the
my
light.
own machine.
Beautiful weapon.
Page 149 was in the roller of
I couldn't help but admire the fine breadth of his shoulders and the thick, closely barbered neck. He stood quietly by the lamppost, smoking.
But then
Watching
again, on
his
the
breath and the
sideboard
smoke
next to the
battled for
front door, we
existence in
found
the
the
icy
remains of
air.
some more of them.
Once when he turned to look up at my window,
Yes, ma'am.
the
Pages
single
150
eyeglass he wore
to
caught the
162.
reflection of the light.
So,
I
You
wondered
dropped
how
those
much he
pages into
weighed.
him the day before yesterday.
Carefully, I retraced each step over again in my mind. I couldn't find the flaw that made me a
He
marked
couldn't
man.
do the usual
The absurdly
routine.
easy way I had gone through Mueller's office carrying an innocent-looking bundle of blueprints, then to the vault, to the...
you can prove.
Oh, I
No
don't
one
know.
could suspect what I had done.
No, the
No one had any
police are gonna
reason
look
to.
after that. But I haven't
Why?
finished yet either.
Why then was I trapped? Of course he was after me, waiting down there.
How does this fit?
I wondered why he didn't come up and wait in my room. Surely he didn't know I was in the room.
The original
Perhaps he had
manuscript
searched my room one day while I was out.
first night.
But what could he find? Nothing, absolutely nothing. A passport proving I was Charles
Why did that
Umberstain.
have to
A
be
monogrammed
so?
suitcase bearing the initials C.U. A few
Because he
letters
read
and
it
old
dedication
papers.
on the
Nothing.
front
Nothing at
page,
all.
Didn't he?
I had never talked.
It read,
I had
"For
never known
Helen,
anyone
my
else in
devoted
service
wife."
except Hans. Franz Mueller was too stupid to suspect anything. Fräulein Keller? No.
You're making a mistake.
Passport?
That's why you tolerated him stealing all your glory.
Only one other way.
You had to do it. The
Only
publishers wanted it that way, didn't they?
one
And they
other
still
way.
want it that way.
Could he possibly
Because by
know?
now, Steve manuscript
For an instant, the possible answer flashed through my brain. For a full 5 minutes, I watched him very
No one could
discerningly.
know.
Could it?
Mainly,
That's someone who was following.
Could it possibly be?
But Daddy lives.
The stillness of the
Yes,
street
I
below was
chose
broken
to.
from time to
And
time by
I'll
the
do it
blare of
again.
an occasional horn and the rattle of armored cars carrying soldiers to different parts of the
we're not
city.
going to live to repeat any of what you just
Turning
said.
from the window, I
Put away that
groped around the darkness of my room, searching for the automatic I had concealed in the secret compartment of my packing bag. When I found it, I entered the chamber. It was loaded. I jammed it in my coat pocket, and putting on my hat, I stood there by the window, watching him.
Police came in
He
here.
seemed very ominous, very assured, waiting for me.
See, I'm still under
He must
arrest.
have been getting anxious with his long vigil. I watched him signal from the
Okay,
cops
Inspector.
across the street,
Gonna got him in the shoulder.
walking back and forth.
Did you
on
get
the
all that?
streetlight.
Yes, Sergeant
I noticed something familiar,
All right, you'll have to come with us, Mrs. Rennick. You too, Freeman.
very familiar.
Mrs. Rennick.
A bolt from off the bed,
No
tied
one
to a
called
piece
me
of cord
that
attached to the light
in a
switch.
long time.
Near the radiator pipe, room enough passing through, the weighted end dragging the string to the lobby below. I picked up my suitcase, stepped out of the door. The hall was dark and quiet.
Just as I at the end, sir.
Downstairs, the
Helen
lobby
was in
was empty.
Steve's apartment all the time.
At the bottom of the
All
stairs, I
time
placed
Janine
the
was there
suitcase by
anyway.
the door.
She heard the
I
row
crossed
every
the
week.
desk. Hastily, I jammed a few bills in an envelope and addressed it to
He'd
Fräulein
already
Keller.
taken his gun, so the
Now,
thought
as
of
I
killing him
picked up
wasn't
my
new.
suitcase, I
As soon
could
as
see him
Janine went
very
into the other
plainly
room
out the
beside her
corner.
nose,
He was
Helen
only
came
a
on out of the
few
closet,
feet from
shot
the exit.
Rennick, threw the gun on the floor, and lit out.
The cord with his
Leaving
weighted
the
end
repentant
fallen
redhead
just
to
short
take the
of the
rest.
door. I stood there
As
quiet.
for the fire,
He looked
well,
up
it was
at
the
me.
only way she could get rid of that
Pulled the
evidence
cord.
without attracting suspicion to herself. Now, for Melissa
I was
Morgan,
startled when the light went
But she
on
wanted the
upstairs,
secret
searching the window for a
the
view of
company
the
too much
occupants.
at stake.
I walked to
You're
the
not
door.
real keen on having me
I
driving
opened it.
around looking for the
Looked-
truth.
Looked my way.
I was bound to find out about
Hey,
Helen Rennick being
point blank.
Steve's ghost.
In surprise.
Well, with
Sure,
ghosts
you
and
tell.
gals and honey buns and homicide, it was quite a case. Wasn't it?
You are...
You are Charles Umberstain?
Why, yes,
Charles Umberstain, who entered Germany in 1936 from Austria?
Here's my passport.
Your passport, yes. I have always wanted to meet you, Charles Umberstain. I have always wanted to meet you face to face. You know who I am?
Why, yes, you are.
I wonder. You know, the others I have had my men pick up. But you, I wanted to attend to personally. It's because you are Charles Umberstain. Now we will just...
I'm sorry, my friend. Sat down hard on the curb. He looked up at me, mumbled strangely, then fell over with his head in the gutter. His hat fell off, and I saw that his hair was closely cropped. There were other people on the street. I ran till I was out of breath. The next day, I picked up a Berlin paper on the railroad station. On the second page, I read the headline, Gestapo official murdered. Saturday, January 25th, Captain Charles von Heinz, high-ranking official of the Gestapo intelligence service, was instantly killed last night by the bullets of an unknown assailant whom he was attempting to arrest on charges of espionage. Captain von Heinz had been connected with the Gestapo since 1936. Prior to his affiliation with the Gestapo intelligence, he had been known by his real name, Charles Umberstain. His entry into such dangerous work made necessary a complete retirement from all public life. The Reich will long honor the memory of Charles Umberstain. I wired flowers from Geneva with a card marked Sympathy, signed C.U.
And so closes The Strange Death of Charles Umberstain by E. Jack Newman, starring Vincent Price. Tonight's tale of Suspense. Vincent Price will soon be seen in the 20th Century Fox production, Song of Bernadette. The producer and director of Suspense is William Spear. Music was composed by Lucian Marowitz and conducted by Lud Gluskin. This is the Man in Black, who would like to draw your attention to the new day and time for Suspense, beginning next week, when Cary Grant will be our star.
Beginning next week, listeners in the Eastern and Central time zones will hear Suspense on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Wartime and 7 p.m. Central Wartime. Listeners in the Mountain and Pacific time zones will be brought their next story of Suspense on Monday, December the 6th. And each Monday thereafter at 9 p.m. Pacific Wartime. Don't forget Suspense on Thursdays, beginning December the 2nd, if you live in Eastern and Central time zones, and Mondays, beginning December the 6th, for listeners in the Mountain and Pacific time zones, with Cary Grant, our opening guest star. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.